Alrighty, peeps. First of all, don't worry. This is not as dangerous as it looks. There is a ledge behind me, so even if I were to fall, it would not be to my death. I had a day today. Woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch the sunrise, went for a 6-mile hike down Bright Angel hiking trail to the 3-mile house and back, something like 2,100 feet ascension to come back up. I'm a little tired, but I said I'm not gonna leave here without doing another vlog because we're out of here tomorrow and this is the most beautiful place on earth and I've got to share it with the world. I was torn between two stories today. One was a decision coming out of Seattle, a salon that offered services, massage, sauna stuff to biological women, saying that it was discriminatory for them to not allow biological males intact who purport to be trans into the facilities. Fully intact biological males, a judge has said that under Washington discrimination law is discrimination, and you must allow entry to biological males with intact genitalia into this club, into this salon for women. I was going to cover that, but there's only so much clown world one can deal with in one day.
When a district judge made a motion to dismiss the lawsuit last week, Haven says that's when she started getting bombarded with hateful messages, some even threatening her life from all over the world.
They're coming from people who claim to be feminists, groups known as TERFs, trans exclusionary radical feminists, and from the far right.
I said I'm going to talk about the Donald Trump indictment because something's been bothering me about it. The more I think about it and the more I talk to seemingly reasonable people who say, Viva, have you read the indictment? Yes, I have, thoroughly. The indictment's serious. It contains some serious allegations.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We are at the point in time right now where the Justice Department, the FBI, intelligence agencies, it's not just that they don't deserve to be trusted. They have thoroughly earned the distinction of not being trusted. I am not cynical for not trusting them. I think anybody who does trust them off the bat is grossly naive. We look at this indictment and we say, my goodness, the facts in here, now it's serious, now they've got them. That assumes the facts alleged in this indictment are even true to begin with. I put out a joking tweet earlier today saying, do we know if the Justice Department has falsified any evidence that it submitted to the grand jury to get this indictment against Donald Trump, the federal indictment on the Espionage Act and obstruction of justice? Do we know if they falsified any evidence that they submitted to the grand jury to get this indictment? I say it tongue in cheek because I don't know that they have. Probably they haven't, probably, except I do know that the FBI literally falsified evidence for the purposes of obtaining spy warrants against Carter Page so they could spy on the Donald Trump campaign as he took the presidency. Literally falsified the documents. And people are now reading this indictment saying it comes from the Justice Department. It's got to be serious. The allegations seem serious. Assuming they're even true. And in my recent memory, my conscious 7-year memory, I go back and I say, they don't deserve to be trusted, they deserve to be distrusted, and I now take everything they say not with a grain of salt, I take it as untrue until proven to the contrary. And I just made an inventory the other day, which I also tweeted out, saying, I remember Operation Crossfire Hurricane, a bogus investigation into Russia collusion that was based off a fabricated Steele dossier that was bogus from the beginning, known to be bogus from the beginning, paid for by the Democrats, by the DNC. It was bogus. Everyone knew it was bogus. The FBI knew it was bogus. They knew it was bogus when Sussman, the DNC lawyer, met with them to give them this dossier. The FBI knew it was bogus when they leaked it to Yahoo News, so Yahoo News could publish an article on it that the FBI and intelligence could therefore say, look, it's been published in the news, there must be some truth to it. Bogus Steele dossier to open bogus Operation Crossfire Hurricane. In the context of that investigation, Kevin Kleinfeld, FBI attorney, as if he's the only one who did anything wrong for the FBI, as if this was a one-off. The lawyer for the FBI modified evidence, deleted and added to an email the indication that Carter Page was not a known asset to intelligence, which would make his dealings with Russian agents more suspicious to justify a FISA spy warrant. Kleinfeld, a lawyer for the FBI, modified an email, deleted a portion, and added something to an email to which he was neither the sender nor the recipient, that he then gave to his team, that they submitted to a secret FISA court to obtain unlawful spy warrants on Carter Page and, by extension, the Donald Trump campaign. This is in 2016. Do we forget about the Gretchen Whitmer kidnap plot? where we had the FBI working with informants, and between FBI agents and informants, we had more FBI agents and or informants than we had defendants in the alleged kidnapping plot of Gretchen Whitmer. An FBI which was paying its informants to basically entrap at least some of the defendants, because 2 of them got acquitted. You had the FBI working with informants who were getting paid to train these defendants, to arm these defendants, to convince these defendants to carry out an outlandish plot. The FBI, when conversing with its informants, telling its informants to lie, to delete text messages between the informants and the FBI. This is in 2020. We are dealing with agencies which are not just politicized, which are not just corrupt, but which do things that if an ordinary person had done these, they'd be in jail for years. And now this is the agency. It's the Department of Justice, so it's not the FBI, as if there's a difference between these entities. We are now to take this latest indictment and just operate on the basis that the allegations contained in the indictment are true and accurate. This time they're serious. An agency which has a history of falsifying, lying, paying people off. Take it seriously this time, people. And anybody who does take it seriously and say, oh my goodness, have you read it? You're reading the words of a liar. And why would you trust reading the words of a liar when you know that they're liars, you know that they've lied to you, you know that they've broken the law, you know that they've admitted having broken the law. The FBI said, yeah, we did some bad things in 2016, but we've revamped our policies so it shouldn't happen again. You are dealing with liars, and why anyone would read the words of a liar and take them as true baffles the mind. It's as though we don't learn from our mistakes. Oh, but a grand jury accept, oh yeah, I have no doubt a grand jury that's presented one-sided evidence from a highly politicized, corrupt agency came to the conclusion that the agency wanted it to come to. What's that worth? Not very much in a world where not only is prosecution weaponized, the legal system is weaponized, the judicial system is weaponized. The wholesale weaponization of laws against one individual is an injustice against all, because it doesn't mean just uneven application of the law, it means lawlessness. And what we're witnessing right now with this latest indictment is absolute lawlessness. And Vivek has got the right idea. Vivek got a bit of the head of the curve. DeSantis should have been doing this. Vivek comes out with a video and says, we all on the GOP side need to pledge to pardon Trump if we are elected.
That's why I've said that I would pardon President Trump if he is convicted on what looks to be some spurious charges looming against him from the DOJ, at least politically motivated ones. These are going to be the kinds of issues that really separate the real GOP candidates representing the people versus those who are just spouting off the standard talking points. That part's easy. I want to see us do well on the hard stuff.
That is the move here, because whether or not, in theory, on paper, even assuming Trump might have done something wrong, whether or not he might have done something wrong, it's something that has been done wrong by the Clintons, by Obama, by Bush, and maybe even by a factor of 10 times worse in those cases. So uneven application of the law is lawlessness. And when we have lawless application of the law, you have the destruction of a republic, you have the destruction of a democracy, you don't have upholding the democracy, because you're not upholding the rule of law, you're weaponizing the rule of law, which results in lawlessness. Vivek is right. The other candidates should be following his lead, and some of them should have been ahead of him on this. So we'll see what happens. But I have read this indictment, and the more I talk with reasonable people who say, this time it's serious, this time I don't know what to think, that's exactly what they want you to think. They want you to forget that they have lied to you year over year, decade over decade. They want you to forget that they have plotted some of the most criminal schemes in the history of humankind. They want you to take them seriously this time. Oh boy, howdy. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, and stupidity is trusting the words of a liar. With that said, enjoy the view. It's beautiful, and peace out, people. Now you know your vlog. Booyah! Just to end this vlog with a mind-blowing perspective of the world right now, behind us right here, in the distance, is Humphreys Peak near Flagstaff. That has a maximum height of 12,000 some odd feet. On the plateau of about 8,000 feet high, that is Arizona, that gives way to the Grand Canyon, which dips down a mile into the Colorado River at the base. Now, looking over here, by the way, you see that little shack right there? That shack is the 1.5 mile shack at the hike that I did this morning. And then we go a little bit down here. Where's the other one? It is right there. That's the 3 mile shack on the Bright Angel hike that I hiked this morning, 2,000 feet down, and you go from the base to the top and over in the distance, Humphreys Peak at 12,000 and change feet. This is mind-blowing.